So welcome to all of you. First of all, see, why are we here? What are we going to do? Hmm. Probably the main reason why we are here is, to seek, to find, to look for a place of peace, or can say joy or silence even. Because you see, we go through our life, with a lot of some kind of restlessness also, some kind of, not quiet, and moments of pleasure, moments of pain, and anxiety, and emotions, and worries, and anxieties, and grief, some happiness also. And our mind is constantly active, constantly moving, and constantly noisy. Inside our mind is constant, Oi, 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 oi. Not for one moment there is stillness or silence or rest or peace. From the moment we wake up, it starts. What to do, how to do, and emotions and thoughts and memories and past and future and till the moment we go into deep sleep, and then it is peaceful. So this happens every day, every day, every day, and then one day we die. Hopefully. Of course, with homeopathy, it's postponed a little bit, but still. Are we okay with this or not? Is this what we want to be? Is there an alternative to this? This is the question we have come here to examine together. To take, just 2 hours of inquiry a pause, a little break from what people call as the rat race. And I read a very nice quotation. They say that even if you win the rat race, you are still a rat. And what is it that actually consists, of this thing? What are the qualities of this activity, of this mind, of this restlessness? And the question also is there something beyond it or behind it? Is there another a place than this discotheque, what we call, of our mind? And how can we find it? And how can we stay in it also? So, when we talk about meditation, it's not about really doing something. It's not an activity. It is a way of being, a location, a place of that silence. And as we inquire together right now, this is also meditation. This is meditation, actually. So it's not somewhere, beyond. Somebody went to Kashmir and came back, and I said, I heard that the view is very beautiful. It's very beautiful views. He said, maybe, but the mountains were blocking all the view. I couldn't see anything because of the mountains. So there is no separate thing as meditation. This inquiry, this asking yourself this question, is there something that is beyond the mind? The mind has so much restlessness, so much turmoil, so much ups and downs, happiness and sorrow and worry and anxiety and anger and grief and is there a place that exists beyond the mind? This is something that as we are inquiring right now, you can start to look also. And I can give you a few hints or a few pointers about how to look for this place. It's a bit warm, so somebody can switch on Some more air conditioning. So what are those pointers? We have to examine what is it that qualifies, or what are the qualities of the things that are in the mind. And if we know these qualities, then we can identify, oh, this is my mind. Okay, I can step away from it. This is not where the silence is going to be. So I can just put it away for the time being. And then examine, is there something that exists when I put this away? When this is gone, is there something that is still there? And what is it? So let us look a little bit into the mind, and what are the things, the qualities of the things of the mind. And the first quality is the quality of change. Because in the mind, everything changes. There is nothing that is steady. You try to look in your own mind and ask yourself the question, is there even one thing that has remained unchanged? Try to ask this question. Is there anything that is steady, that is established or strongly founded in your mind? Try to ask this question. Your emotions, feelings. I love this person so much, but day after tomorrow you want to kill the same one. Does it remain the same? You like something very much today, tomorrow it's nothing for you. When you were a child, an infant, your mother was the most important thing for you. And the next time it was the toy, and then it was, something else. And then it was, your spouse or your partner. And then it was your job, and then it was your money. What is it that remained constant? Your role. Today you are a student, tomorrow you are a husband or a wife, next day you are a parent, and next day you are a old man. Your job, did it remain the same? Did anything remain the same? Was there anything that did not change? From one moment to another, things are changing in your mind. Is it not true? 10 minutes ago, what you were thinking is not what you are thinking right now. Nothing stays, even momentarily. Some things stay a little bit longer, that's all. Your thoughts, your memories, Your plans for the future, when did it ever remain the same? They change too. Your relationships. And of course, in the outer world of things, nothing is the same. Everything changes. Technology changes, lifestyles change, cultures change. Political parties change also, as you might have observed. What remains the same? Many times you can't even identify the same street you walked in 5 years ago. Everything outside and everything inside is constantly changing. How can we find stillness in that which is changing? There is another quality of things that comes with this change, and that is duality. What means duality? Opposite. Everything in the mind has opposite. Everything in the mind has an opposite. If you love, there is hate also. If you are sad, there is happiness also. If you are weak, you are strong also. In everything, can you think of one thing without an opposite? If you have day, you have night. If you have light, you have dark. If you have money, you have poverty. In the very money is the seed of the poverty. Because when you lose it, you are poor. So we are caught in this things of opposites all the time. The world of the mind is the world of opposites. Everything is in comparison. If there is me, there is you. It's opposite also. And what else is there in the mind? There is change, there is opposites, and there is the sense of identity. What is this identity? Just think about it. Identity means I am this name and this form, and this role and this relationship. You know, I am Rajan, I am a homeopath, I am an Indian, I am a father, I am a whatever, different labels that are stuck to me. I am 60 years old. Who has stuck all these labels? Most probably it's me. I took the name, I adopted it for myself. I can change it also. My friend suggested I could just add an Ish to my name and become Rajanish. Jayesh always tells me, एक ईश की कमी है राजन. What's in a name? It can be changed also. My role, I don't have to be homeopath. When my children are gone, I am not really a father, I am their friend now. Roles change also. And nowadays science has even made it possible to change your gender. Tomorrow I could be Rajini also. But if I become Rajini tomorrow by a set of operations, have I changed? My body has changed. My gender has changed. My name has changed. My form has changed. My relationships have changed. My role has changed. But is something that has not changed? Is there something that has not changed? This is the question. And what is that something that has not changed? Because it is in that we are going to find peace and stillness and silence. Because in anything that is changing, how can we ever find peace? Because anything that is here today and gone tomorrow, how are we finding peace in that? It's not possible. Anything that comes has to go. Anything that forms has to dissolve. This is the rule of nature. What is it that does not come and go? Can we find that? This is the question. Can we ask our own selves, in our own selves, can we find out, can we inquire? Can we look within us right now? Not tomorrow, not after an hour. Right now. Can I find something that does not change? Anything that is changing, dismiss. This is not it. This is not what I want. Anything that has opposites, dismiss it. I don't want this. Negate, dismiss, delete, and see what there is that is left. Can it be a thought? Can it be a feeling? Can it be a memory? Because memories also come and memories go. You remember and you forget. Everything comes and goes. Your age also. Youth comes, youth goes. Except for some movie stars. Otherwise, the rest of us, we get older. Everything comes and goes. Everything has an opposite. And everything that you have labeled yourself, I am this, I am that, and I am like this, and I am like that, and I am like this, I am a very angry man, I am a very, pious man, I am a this man. All the labels that you have given yourself, they come and they go. Dismiss, delete, 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 out with all this and see what there is that is still left. Right now. Even this question, what is still left, even this question will come and go. Even delete the question. Delete everything that arises in the mind as thought, emotion, identity, label. Everything arises and subsides. What is it that does not change? Could it be that in which everything arises and subsides? Could it be that in which all of these things happen and yet that remains unchanged? Could it be the screen in which all the movies play but the screen remains unchanged? Could it be the ocean in which all the waves arise and fall but the ocean remains unchanged? Are you able to relate to what I am saying? I want to share an experience I had a few days ago, I got this thought in my mind that I'm 60 years old nearly. I asked myself this question. I don't know where it came from. The question was, how old is my soul? Try to ask yourself this question. How old is my soul? How old does it feel? Does it feel 60? To me, it didn't feel 60. Did it feel 17? Not even. How old is the life force within me? This life, this pure life, not the body. The body ages. The body undergoes its processes. Not the mind. The mind also undergoes, development and memories and experiences. It accumulates, it collects baggage as it goes along. It gets older also. It gets wiser. Sometimes it gets wiser also. Sometimes not. But there is a process. So the body, the mind, they get older, but there is something that never ages and that was never, young or old. It was pure. It was just, just there, just the being, just the presence. Can you find this part in yourself right now? The part that never got old. The part that never has a label attached to it. The part that is, ask yourself this question, is that soul male or female? Is your pure being, does it have a gender? Does it have a religion? Does it have a language? Does it have relationships? Does it come and go? Did it ever come? Is it ever going? What is the quality of that? The one that has no quality. Because the moment you give it a quality, it has an opposite. It has no opposites. Does it have a name? Does that pure being, that presence in you, can you answer this question to yourself? When you remove your name, your form, your identity, your memory, your emotions, your feelings, all of this that changes and that has opposites, when you remove all of that, what remains? Does that what remain, does it have a name? Can you answer this from your own experience right now? Does that have an age? Does it have a form? Does it have a gender? Does it have an identity? And is that what is? Is it distant from you? Is it far from you? How far? Or is it you yourself? And who is that you without the name, without the form, without the identity? When you even delete this thought, even the question, who am I? Even the question, what is that? Delete all of this. Everything that occurs in the mind, everything that arises and subsides, keep it away and say, this is not it. This is not where I am going to find peace. Because peace is not in the mind. Peace is in deep sleep when the mind is not there. When there is no thought, no emotion, no identity even. In sleep you don't have a religion. You are only having a religion when you wake up. Then you know who you are, which religion and which country and all of that. In deep sleep, when the mind is gone, thoughts are gone, identity is gone, change is gone, opposites is gone, and what remains is only being or presence. Even your nature is gone. Your insecurities are gone. Every drama of the mind is gone. What remains? When all these things that change are gone. Now, my father used to very affectionately tell the guests who came, he said, my Raju is a very good boy when he is fast asleep. When we are fast asleep, even our nature is not there. We all are the same. The question is, can we be in that state of deep sleep when we are fully awake? Is it possible? And what does it mean? It simply means that we do not indulge the mind, we don't participate in the mind, that we stay away from the mind. The mind is not going to stop. The mind will continue its game. From the moment we are born till we die, the mind will be always active as long as we are awake. There is no point in denying the mind. There is no point in dismissing the mind. There is no point in saying, I don't want the mind or the ego or the identity or the emotions. No, these are part of it, just like your digestion and your breathing. The mind and the emotions have a function. You see, unless you feel fear, you will not survive. You'll stand in front of a bus and say, I have no fear. It's not going to work. Only the fear survives you. Emotions have a role. The problem is when you identify with it, when you say, I am the mind and I am nothing else. It's like saying, I am my stomach. I am my digestion. In that way we say, I am the emotion. Then we are in trouble. My music teacher used to teach me this song. He said, Chanchal man nisadin bhatkat hai, ji bhatkawat hai, jim mar kat taru dar dar par latkat hai, latkawat hai. It means the restless mind, chanchal man, nisdin bhatkat hai, all the time wandering here, there, here, there, here, there, meaningless. Do you know that 90% of our talking is useless? Do you know this or not? And this includes WhatsApp conversations also. How are you? Good morning. And send some forwards which we get from other people to another 10 people. The mind, just to keep the mind busy. Useless stuff. Have you ever seen two dogs have a conversation? Because unless they need to, they won't even bark. They bark because they think they have to bark, a sense of duty. They are guarding the whole house, But can you imagine two dogs sitting with each other? What is Shah Rukh Khan doing these days? There must be a dog Shah Rukh Khan also, most probably, or not. They don't waste their energy. We waste our energy. It's what is chanchal man nisadin bhatkat hai, bhatkavat hai. 90% of all our activity is quite useless. It's just to entertain the mind. Some stupid politician will say something, another stupid politician will answer him, and we are reading this all the time, And the news channels are basically entertaining the mind, that's all. There's nothing meaningful in it. So we are indulging the mind all the time. And then the poet says, Jim marakata taru dar dar par latkat hai, latkavat hai. Jaise bandar, like a monkey, is jumping from one branch to another, is our mind. And we are jumping with the monkey, we are holding on to the monkey and jumping. How we will find peace? Every pleasure comes with pain. Yes or no? The younger generation knows this very well. Nowadays you have, engagement parties and breakup parties also. Harivamsh Rai Bachchan wrote this Madhushala, and he wrote one paragraph. He says, आने के ही साथ जगत में कहलाया जाने वाला, जैसे आया your जाना is sure. जो आएगा वो जाएगा. But we get attached. It's okay. We can't stop it. But can we find a place that does not change? Let the mind do its changing. Let the mind do its monkey tricks. You don't have to stop it. You don't have to blame yourself for it. Everybody's mind is doing its job. That's its emotions, feelings, thoughts, memories, identity, ego. Do you follow what I am saying or not? What is this identity? मैं हूँ, मुझे ऐसे बोला, मुझे, वो कौन है? Who is this who says, how dare he talks to me like this, to me? I will tell you a story. It's a very nice story I heard. You might have heard of, Rajiv Bajaj. He is the managing director of Bajaj Auto. So we have a retreat in Lonavala and we go there, once in 2 months, and we have a 5-day retreat to look inside and to know yourself and know your patterns and all of these things. So he had come one day as a guest to this retreat, and he was speaking to us and sharing. We all shared things there. And he shared this story which impressed me a lot actually. I'll share it with you. He said that, his great-grandfather, means his grandfather's father, was a very famous man called Jamnalal Bajaj, who was actually the first, big Bajaj, the one who started everything. He was even the adopted son of Mahatma Gandhi. And they wanted to make a movie about the life of Jamnalal Bajaj. So Rajiv Bajaj was asked to accompany the director and the crew of this movie to the village in Rajasthan where his great-grandfather was born. So when he went there, he saw that he was actually born in a very, very poor farmer's hut. And he said, what happened? How did this happen that this son of this very poor farmer became such a big name or industrialist? And that story was told to him that, this boy was the son of a very poor farmer. He was maybe 6, 7, 8 years old. And he was playing on the street outside of this little hut. And at that time, the big Seth of that village, the richest man, was passing by in his horse cart, and he stopped because the little child was playing there. And he got down from the horse cart and said, where do you stay? And he said, in this little hut. So he went with the child to that hut. And in those times, Atiti Devo Bhavaha, means the guest is God. So that man said, oh, big Seth, you have come. What can I offer you? And he said, I want your child. So that Seth didn't have children, so he adopted the son of this very poor farmer. And that's how that child became Jamnalal Bajaj. This was the story. Now, as Rajiv Bajaj came out of that hut, after the filming and all that, he saw that there was one hut next to that one. And outside there was sitting a very familiar guy. And he looked and said, Are Nitin, tu yahan? And who is this Nitin? Nitin was the watchman of the Bajaj company in Pune, ex-watchman. And when Rajiv Bajaj was a small boy, he used to play cricket with this watchman fellow. Because there was no other children in that. They were living inside the compound of the factory. And these boys used to play with the watchman only. So the watchman was their entertainer in some sense. And that fellow was sitting there. So, Nitin, you are here? And that watchman says, yes, this is my ancestral house. We have been here for many generations. It was at this moment that Rajiv Bajaj realized that if that Nitin's great-grandfather was playing outside, on that day, Rajiv would have been the watchman. And Nitin would have been Nitin Bajaj, MD of Bajaj Auto. Can you imagine this? This moment. When, the boss realizes that in one fraction, the whole thing could have been another way around. He shared this with us. And I have his permission to share it with you. What is our identity? Who are we really? Is it something that cannot change? Are we so identified with that we say, how dare he talk to me? Who are we really? I'll share another story with you. I have a great respect for a very holy man. He's not alive anymore. And he asked this question. Matka, no? Pot. He asked the question, who made the pot? It's a very interesting question. Who made the pot? Think about it. So the first answer that will come to your mind may be the potter made the pot, yes or no? This holy man asked the question, did the potter make the pot? What are the ingredients of the pot? First you need the clay. Did the potter make the clay? Did he make the water? Did he make the potter's wheel? Did he make the sunlight? Did he create the technique of making the pot? Did he acquire, or by himself, his arms and his limbs and his body and the mind and the skill to make it? Did he feed himself and grow himself? It is an entire set of circumstances. He was born at that time in that place to those parents who fed him, clothed him, grew him. He got the skill, he got the knowledge, he got the clay, he got the water, he got the sunlight, he got the potter's wheel which was made by another guy. He's only a very small ingredient in the making of the pot. Can he say he made the pot? Can I tell you that I am giving this talk, that it is mine? Did I create anything in this except that I am an instrument of something? Who am I really? Am I this, or am I a part of a whole creation? Did the apple tree create the apple? Could it have created oranges if it wanted to? Could I be something other than what I am? Am I me, or a product of creation? That myself arises and subsides. कबीर सिंग्स माती कहे कुम्हार से तू क्या रूंदे मोई, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा मैं रूंदूंगी तोई. The mud says to the potter, who are you who thinks that you are molding me? One day I will mold you. You will come back to me. It's a cycle. We are part of a cycle. None of us will be alive after a certain number of years. We are all waves in an ocean. We come and we go. This form, this body, this mind, this identity is changing. It's not steady, it's not permanent. What is it that does not change? How long are we going to remain attached to that which changes and cry, oh, it's going, it's going, it's going? Can we accept that this is not us? Then there is no grief. Then there is only presence, only being. And then there is no grief of death also, your own or anybody else, especially your own. You are not attached anymore to this changing form. Can you experience what I am saying right now? Are you only listening, or can you feel it? What's the answer? Can you speak it aloud? Are you just listening to it, or are you experiencing some silence right now? Just try to be in this silence, in this silence which is disconnected from thoughts and emotions and memory and your identity, your ego, your insecurity, your fear, your pattern, your ways of thinking and behavior, your ideas about yourself, your ideas about other people, your ideas about the world, all these concepts. No, world is good, world is bad, world is heaven, world is hell, why everything happens to me, why, How come this? How come that? This going. This all this things that we have loaded onto ourselves, and we think that that is us. This idea that what we have created of our identity and thoughts and ideas and concepts of the world, that this is us. This is what they call as Maya or illusion, because this is not us. Because the us, the real us, cannot change like this. It cannot be different every moment. This us, that us, this us, that us. What is this? It cannot be like this. It cannot be so changeable. It doesn't make sense like this. There's nothing we can hold on as us, I. No, by the time you catch it here, it's gone there. Can we just allow ourselves to take distance from this changing self, from these thoughts and emotions and memory, you know. And to see this all as something happening, but not, it's not me, it's happening. Okay, the memory, the emotion, the thought, it's happening. Yes, it will happen, but that's not me. And I tell you that when you distance yourself from all that noise, the noise also goes down, you know. The mind becomes quieter. And this is the process by which we go to sleep. We take distance from the mind. If we are in the mind, we can never sleep. The mind will keep us awake. But we tell the mind, you know, mind, now shut up, I don't want to look at you. Tomorrow we will see, you know. Tomorrow I will get up and start loving and hating everybody, but today I am going to sleep. I don't want, I want to distance from you now. Don't we do this every night? And then we find peace. Can we do this when we are fully awake? Even right now. And how do we know what is the mind? I told you the 3 hints, the 3 pointers. Anything that changes is the mind. Anything that has an opposite is coming from the mind. And anything that is connected with your identity, I am this, I am that, I love this, I love that, I hate this, I hate that, anything that begins with I am or I is your mind. Because the very concept of I is the mind. I fear, I love, I hate, I think, I want, I don't want. Everything is based on that concept of I. I don't like you because you harm me. This duality, I and you, separate, this is coming from the mind. Because in the soul there is no separation. Ask yourself, is my soul separate from something else? Is it in a compartment that is called my soul? And then there is your soul and somebody else's soul. Does this exist? Is our soul in a little bottle labeled as I? Or is it free and is it completely everywhere? So these are the pointers. That when these things arise, when things that change, things that have opposites, and things that begin with I am this or that, These are coming from the mind. And when you see that arising, you become the watcher of it. Don't become it. You say, okay. It's arising, it's falling. It's arising, it's falling. And that place from which you can see, you can watch, is less changing than the place where it is happening. Do you follow what I'm saying? The place of witnessing is more stable. It's not the final place, because even that changes. Because today you may witness, tomorrow you may not. Then there is a third place which absolute does not change. And that is where there is no witness even. There just is. Nobody even watching. There is nobody home. There's nobody there. There's no even I am watching. Even this I am watching is gone. And then comes I am. I am. So first, I am this, I am this, I am this, I am that, I feel this, I want this, I don't want this, going. And then the second stage, I am just the watcher of all this going on. Do you follow what I am saying or not? If you see, little kids, maybe 5-6-year-old kids, and the teacher takes them to a picnic, Have you seen this scene or not? And they all spread all around. See, so many oings are there, but there's only one teacher who is the watcher. The teacher is more stable than all of these oings. It's quite a story to take kids to a picnic. Once I did this mistake, In my son's birthday, when they were only 5 or 6 years old, I invited like 20 of his classmates, and we put them in a bus and took them to the zoo. You see? And they all spread around. It was so difficult to keep them. And I had 2 fears. Because we took 20 kids, we had to get 20 back. Yeah, we had to get 20 back. My problem was that what if there was 19? But the bigger problem was, what if there was 21? You see? What do I do with that extra kid? So our mind is like this. All over. And then there is a teacher who is watching, who is in a more stable position. This is the witness. We call in Hindi, we call it Sakshi. In Sanskrit, it is called Upadrashta, the one who watches. But that is still, there is someone there. This Upadrashta, this witness, is also a part of the mind. It is the more stable part, the most mature part, but it is still a part of the mind that changes. And only the thing that doesn't change is when the mind disappears, when our identity disappears, when the ego disappears, when it's not there, then what is there is not changing. So there is a third stage also, the absolutely unchanging one. And that one is not this little I, but it is the big I, a very big I, which doesn't have a name or a form or a birth or a death. Its quality is it is. It is. That's all we can say about it. It is. And when you dissolve the mind and the witness, what remains is it. This doesn't remain. This is gone. This little self is gone. And what remains is that. And in that is only peace. And there's no even you to experience that peace. You are that peace. You are that silence. You are that eternity. You are God itself. You are Brahma. And it is possible to be that right now because you already are. All that you have to do is remove what you are not. You are not the changing mind. You are not the stable witness. When you discount, when you remove, when you get rid of this idea that I am this or I am that, then what remains is I am. Do you follow what I am saying or not? Ramana Maharishi was a great saint of South India, and he used to give an example, a typical example of this. He said, when you go to a funeral, you have to collect all the logs of wood and arrange them in a particular way. And usually you use one stick or one log to put all the other sticks in the place. I don't know why he couldn't think of another better example, but this is what he said. And he said that when you put all those sticks with that one stick, right, then finally you put that last stick also into the fire. That last stick is the witness, is the watcher. The other logs are your thoughts and emotions of the mind. The watcher brings all those to one place. And finally, only the watcher remains. And that also you offer it into the fire. And that's when you disappear. So that's what we are going to do right now. We are going to do a little bit of meditation. If that is, it's not the right term to say, but we'll try. We'll see how it works. And so take a comfortable position. This will last for about 25 minutes. So whichever position you're comfortable, you can even sit on the floor if you want, or anywhere except to lie down is good. Why you should not lie down? Because you will go to sleep. And why you will go to sleep? This is a very interesting question. Because we do not have the experience of being still when we are awake. The moment we say the mind is not there, the body says, okay, time to sleep. We are used to this. We are habituated to only two states, waking state and sleep state. But there is a state where you are fully awake and deeply asleep. And we have to experience that. Because in that state is the stillness, is the joy. And what is the advantage of experiencing it? The first advantage is that you know that it exists. Most of the time we are living in the disco not even knowing there are 40 other rooms which are quiet. And then we complain, oh, my mind is so noisy. But my friend, there are 40 quiet rooms outside. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought only the disco exists. So first to know that such a place exists. And the second is to know that it is you. You are that place. And you have always the possibility to be there. And every time your mind acts up, you have the place to go. And then it will become a constant practice. Meditation will not be something you do in a dark room like this, but all the time you are in that place. Because there are parallel realities. The mind is one reality, the witness is another, and silence is the third. And you can be in all of that at the same time. And if you are, then the mind will not have that effect on you which it has now. It will not disturb you. It will not take you up and down and move you back and forth. It will have much less effect on you. And what will arise in you is the feeling of non-dualism. There is no separation between me and the other. And the consequence of that is love. Love is not something you have to impose on yourself. I should love everyone. It is natural when there is no distinction, there is no duality. Love is the natural consequence. You know, this Gandhi's favorite song was Vaishnava Janato, and he says, Paradukhe upakara kare to mana abhimana na anere. He says the man who is enlightened, he helps other people, but he doesn't feel a sense of pride because he is only helping himself. How can you be proud of helping yourself? When there is, somebody asked to Ramana Maharishi, how can we help other people? And he said, there are no other people. From that place of stillness, love is the natural consequence. Peace is the natural consequence. And when that shines in you, when your ego is not active, not dominant, it's there but it's not dominant. Then, wherever you go, peace will be around you. And it's not because of you. You don't even have to be proud of that. It's natural consequence. You will feel it and people around you will feel it. That is the symptom of your own experience, that there will be less and less conflict around you. People will not be able to trigger your ego so easily, resulting into conflict. You will come from a place of purity, and you will come from a place of love. Even the other person is abusing you, you will say, oh my God, he is suffering so much. My God, so much anger, not good for you, my friend. Your pressure will go up. Calm down. I'm afraid. He's screaming at you, you this, you that. Arey Baba, you may get a stroke or something, please. Calm down. You don't take it personally. There are a lot of advantages to this. And the last and the best advantage is you're ready to go anytime. Your bags are packed. I mean, they don't allow you any baggage, I know this. It's a, you know this, there's no, even in jet airways you can not, other airways, they allow you some cabin bag and all, but in the final journey, that's what Kabir was saying, khali haath aaye ho, khali haath jaoge. No baggage is allowed. No credit cards also. No mobile phones. Can you imagine? One of my patients, maybe here among you, I don't know, I can't tell this so loudly. 2 months ago, I have severe fear of death, he told me. I have such severe fear of death. And I asked him, what is the fear of death? He said, I will not have my mobile phone afterwards. How will I manage? This is how much we have become dependent. I think after he spoke, I also got a little fear of this, Oh shit, I didn't think about that. I won't have my mobile phone. He didn't say I will not have my relatives and friends and all that. He didn't think about this. He said, my mobile phone. So we are not allowed anything. Not even the mobile phone. Are we ready? As long as our ego is there, we will not be ready. We will cling because we are attached to that identity. I am this and I am that. Shankaracharya, 2500 years, he wrote Bhajagovindam song. And he wrote, Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinaham jatam tundam vruddho yati grahitva dandam tadapi na munjati asha pindam. What it means? Angam galitam, uska jo sharir hai wo gal gaya hai, his body is dissolving. Palitam mundam, his face has fallen. Dashana vihinaham jatam tundam, all his teeth are broken. Vruddho, old man. Jati grahitva dandam, wo ghar mein, he takes his dandam, his stick, he cannot even walk, he is walking like this with a stick. Tadapi na munjati asha pindam. Fir bhi he has not left his desires. Still he desires. Tomorrow they will make me some good food. दांत नहीं है. That is what again Harivansh Rai Bachchan wrote. और की रटन लगाए जाता है हर जाने वाला. Or more, I want more, I want more. What are you satisfying? Is it outside? Are you ever going to find the joy in something or somebody? That is our illusion. That we are going to find joy in something else other than the stillness and peace inside us. That is our foolishness. And however many lessons our life teaches us, you idiot, it's not there. The thing that gives you the greatest joy will give you the greatest grief. Yes or no? Because when you lose it, it is grief. In its potential, there is grief. But we say, no, no, no. We will get it there only. Again we go looking. One holy man, whom I respect a lot, he told this, he gave an example. He said, there was a child and he was crawling, and the light was shining from behind him. So there was a shadow of a crawling child. And he said, that must be another child who is crawling and I want to hold him. So he kept going. And that shadow went further and further. He couldn't catch it. So he got frustrated and he started screaming, Oh, how children do this. Then the mother came and said, oh, what is wrong? I just fed him and, he's clean also. What is the problem? What is he doing? Why is he crying? And then she saw that he's going behind that shadow. He can't catch it. So mother said, what to do? How to? So what she did, she made him sit up and she made him put his hand on his own head, and the shadow also did the same, and the child got the pleasure that he has somehow touched that shadow. And he was happy. So the holy man gives this example that we are chasing something, thinking it is there, but it is our own self that is the joy. We are looking outside. We are like this child, chasing our own shadow. In that one of the Hindi movies, they have this song, They said, Sagar mein seep jaise pyasi har atma. You know this song or not? O mitware sagar mein seep jaise प्यासी हर आत्मा बूंद छिपे किस बादल में कोई जाने ना. This is the song. So beautiful. We are like sitting in the water and saying, oh, where is the next water coming from? But we are in the water. We are thinking it's going to come from some distant cloud, it's going to come and give us the water, and we are soaked in the water. This is our tragedy. And that peace that we are seeking, that joy, it's us, not even within us, it is us. We just have to get rid of the idea that we are the mind and we are the ego and we are the witness. All this illusion, when it goes, then joy shines as us. Peace shines as us.